Okay, ja. Hello and welcome to Newlands, another glorious day for cricket. It's the World Sports Betting Western Province against the AET Tuskers from Pietermaritzburg. Well, the Tuskers won the toss earlier on and elected that they will bowl first, bat first, I beg your pardon, and from the Calvin Grove end, it will be Nandre Burger to start the proceedings. Two opening batsmen. Delport, who's got years of experience. He's played all over the world in every league you can find. I remember him playing at the Paul Rocks at the time when they won the Mzansi League. What a character. Erlink, the man receiving. Oh, one nip back quite nicely. And with me to do proceedings, well, if it's not in a coaching role, I was involved with him. It's the first time now, I think, we next to each other on the microphone, the well-experienced and for many, many years, very quick in his day, Vincent Barnes. Good afternoon to you, Vinny.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here, actually. Just loving the Cape Town weather after spending 3 weeks in Nigeria in the heat and humidity. So, yeah, thanks very much. And yeah, beautiful day. Yeah, and a big day for World Sports Betting Western Province to get another win under their belt here.
That one's going to be wider and we'll go for 4. Yeah, it's going to be important. I mean, the good thing, Friday night, they started off by winning away from home and in Durban at Kingsmead. And it's not easy to go to Kingsmead and just get a victory under the belt. So they really got to make sure that they're up to it today as well. Yeah,
it was a low-scoring game. Surprisingly, though, two very good sides. I was quite surprised that, Western Province got, I think, 145 and had to defend it going to the last over. So it was, it was a tight game.
Oh, well bowled. That's the line and length that you want early on, not to give the batsman any room to free those hands, especially in the power play up front.
Yeah, I just noticed there's not a lot of swing. I know you bowled 3 deliveries. One was a wide down leg, but just noticed that delivery, there's not a lot of swing. So, and he's got the breeze in his favour. He's bowling up against the wind. It's coming probably across the pitch. Yeah, let's see. Who knows?
Edged and they'll go away for 4. The slip and the wicket keeper not wide from each other. Carverena went for it, but fortuitous Erlink.
Yeah, a little bit too close to cut. Probably the bouncers did him there, so should have been taken. Keeper of his standard should have got there and taken it.
Oh, Vincent, Burger, strange him, is bowling into the stiff breeze from the Calvin Grove end. Complete my sentence now. That's cut away on the offside, and there is insurance on the deep boundary, and only 1. Is it a matter of seniority? Because I would have thought, Burger coming from the Weinberg end, breeze behind his back, he's quicker, nippier. Would it be a matter of seniority, or do we see Buren Indus bowling from the Weinberg end?
I think it's more the way the wind's blowing. It's going across the pitch. He wants the ball, and that's the wind's in his favour from that side. If he's bowling from this side, the wind's going to go across the pitch. It's going to be difficult to swing the ball back into the wicket. Back into the wind. So he's probably come from that side because southeast is blowing and is blowing a little bit across into his face, but across the pitch.
Oh, good analogy.
There's not a lot. I haven't seen any swing, so he's got to get it closer now. He's got to bowl a bit more straighter, and that he's done. The other couple of deliveries was a bit too wide.
He certainly has come on leaps and bounds. The last 2 years as a bowler.
Absolutely love him. He was at the academy many years ago, and spent some time with him there. Watched him over the last couple of years develop here as a, and. Yeah, brilliant fast bowler.
Oh, that's heaved away. Could be caught. Oh, dear. Always difficult having to come forward because judgment's got to be good. But there was a chance.
Yeah, I think if you had to commit straight away, he probably would have got closer. But he sort of went, hesitated, and then in the end had to dive for the catch. It would have been a hell of a catch.
Yeah, they're not easy coming forward. And end of the first over, 11 without loss.
Yeah, and just coming back to Nandri Berger, I mean, he's did some testing on him about a year and a half ago, and you know, he's probably one of the fastest bowlers in the country. You know, swinging a hell of a season for Western Province. He's continued that, and that form has obviously got him into the national side. He's bowled well again, so good for him. And it's just keeping our stocks, you know, the cupboard full. So I've seen a few people saying the cupboard's gone bare, and we've got a number of fast bowlers in the country.
Well, we've heard that many a year, Vincent. I mean, that's an old adage story, and every time when we think the cupboard is bare, well, that's nicely driven on the offside.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. You know, I remember being with the Proteas when Sean Pollock retired, and everybody said, "Who is?" You know, next we had Dale Steyn walking in, and Morne Morkel, and Vernon Philander, and
Kagiso
Rabada, and the list is endless. I mean, you just keep churning him out, and now we've got a couple of young players, Kwena Mapakas. You know, he's played for South Africa A already.
A young left-hander now at Gauteng that played SA under 19.
Yes, that's Kwena Mapaka.
Wow, what a sensation that is. I think that would be missing leg. Umpire unmoved. To Lauren Achenbach. Standing here at the Weinberg end. And with her is Mazizi Gampu. Alaluddin Palika is the fourth umpire. Match referee today is Lawrence Matruis. Lauren Achenbach, she was on Friday. She also did duty. Nice to see lady umpires and women umpires. She was at the game against the Dolphins, not Dolphins, the Titans game, Friday night. That's in the air. It'll be safe. Is there a man under it? Oh my word. Another chance gone a begging for Western Province. Not good enough that.
Yeah, I just think that with the way the wind's blowing at the moment and boundaries, it's miles away. You know, you shouldn't be standing on the boundary. You should be at least 10 off the rope. It would have made the catch a lot more easier. Yeah, I mean, if you look, I mean, the left-handing to get the ball for 6 there, it's going to be a hell of a shot.
Absolutely.
So get off the boundary. He's gone back all the way back onto the boundary again.
Well bowled. Well, Vincent, that's just cricket awareness. I mean, you know, that's the big thing that I think. You've got youngsters, they've got the talent, they've got everything, but sometimes just that awareness of the game, the feel to know which side the wind is blowing. Surely one would expect that these things are discussed in the change room at some stage.
Yeah, I think they've now asked him to come off, but now the horse is bolted, he could have been a comfortable catch. You know, but I mean, I'm just thinking, for a right-hander who hit the 6 there, you know, if he pulls it, it's a hell of a shot. So, and he's such a big boundary.
Well, poor Buren Hendricks. I mean, whenever I see him bowl, I always think to the two tours that I was fortunate enough to be manager of the South African A team to India. It was both at the same ground. It was in Bangalore, at the Swana, at the stadium there in Bangalore. I just cannot. And it was the second morning. Two batsmen. One was both of them went on to play for India. The one was pretty sure. Second ball of the morning, Buren Hendricks nicked him off to second slip, dropped. End of the day, 250 not out. Yeah, we went on the next tour, and we had Kishan, also opening the batsman for India. He played for India a couple of times. He's now with him and Aya, not getting contracts with India. Yeah. Second ball of the morning, Buren Hendricks nicked, second slip, dropped. End of day's play, 190 not out.
Yeah, look, two devastating players. I mean, they get on with the game. I mean, they don't hang back. They're in the mold of Joshua, Brenda Saywag. That's the way they play. I was pretty sure play 2 years ago. We had a series in Bloemfontein against, that was during COVID actually. We had a series, South African A series against India. And he was, hell of a knock he played. But also just played shots. Yeah, you can't drop him. You can't drop him up front. You've got to get him quickly.
Yeah, no, you just don't. We managed to draw both the test matches, though, Vinny. Oh, ball him! Neck and crop! Off stump out the ground! And that's a massive wicket. The departure of Erlang.
Just caught in the crease, I think. It looked like he was just caught in the crease there. No replay.
So 1 for 19. That's when the first wicket fell in the second over, or the third over of the game. It should have been a wicket earlier on, I suppose. Two chances, one earlier to Berger, down to the cover region, and then also cut upish, which Vincent said, where the wind is blowing, southeaster coming across, so you needed probably the fielder to be about 10 meters in from the boundary. He got to the ball eventually, but he made an awful hash of it. But had he been in, he wouldn't have hardly had to move. I must admit, it's just a bit sad to see the crowds. I just feel, from a cricketing point of view, and a Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock at Newlands. I know there's the cycling went on this morning in Cape Town. Lots of people, lots of visitors here. But really, I just feel at some stage the marketing needs to really just jack up a little bit, and that would increase the coming of people to the grounds. I mean, we looked at Pretoria the other night. There's 15,000 in the crowd if you catch the ball with one hand. Just a bit of more initiative, just to try and lure people to get to the ground. I'm not a supporter of opening the gates for nothing. I just think you cheapen the product then. Even if people Hey? She was in Mrs. Prados also. Third wicket down, 25 for 3. Cameron Shackleton knew he was in a spot of bother the whole over, but Western Province now in a really commanding position, Vincent.
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic over by Buren. And as we spoke, we lost the sound, but we would have liked to have seen a slip put in there. Buren was bowling exceptionally well, and the way the power play has gone now, obviously the two batters have got to realize they've got to get through that power play. We've just lost another wicket now with great delivery. Extra bit of bounce again and got the wicket.
Another lefty, left arm spin in the Carl Simmons. Wow, we've just seen left arm bowlers, the two openers, and then you still got in Nandre Berger and Buren Hendricks. Now Carl Hendricks spin from the Calvin Grove end. So I like the field placing here. You got a long on and a deep long on, and mid off, like the cover region, cover, extra cover. A short third man in position, wideish. That's nicely placed. Could look for a second. Good fielding. That's where you got to be, no matter what the situation. Always on your toes, making sure you follow the ball, attack it when the ball's hit in that area.
Yeah, we were just talking about when the sound went off about the third man. You spoke about Hilton Ackerman.
Yeah, and the story about the sweep shot.
Yeah, we were playing in an academy game against in Durban, outside somewhere in
Midlands.
North, in the Midlands. Yeah, we were playing in the Midlands, and after this ball by Carl Simmons, and Ghulam Bodhi was at the crease at the time, and kept sweeping, and Hilton walked out with a broom, and gave it to Ghulam and said to him, "You want to continue sweeping? Here's a broom." And, Ghulam standing there as confused as ever. So there's Ghulam standing at the crease with a broom in his hand. It was so funny. But anyway, then he walked off, gave him his backpack, walked off, and then said to the umpire, and Ghulam was going, obviously a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And then he gave him back his bat and he said, "So stop this now, this sweeping every ball." And then Ghulam's first ball, so he goes on, about to go down on the knee and blocks the ball because he realized he shouldn't be sweeping. And then Hilton did say to the umpire, "If he sweeps, give him out. Give him out if he sweeps. No, he hit the middle of the bat. Give him out." There we go.
Oh, what a good catch.
Yeah, it's another big wicket. I think Norfal is sort of the anchor in that middle order. So it's a big wicket. Tuskers are really in trouble here.
And all sorts of trouble at 27 for 4. And especially in the power play, Vincent, we're just 5 overs into it. And if you've lost 4, I always say, when you lose 3 wickets in a power play, you're about to lose the game. Unless someone comes and does something super special. But to me, normally 3 wickets in a power play is always a target to know that a team is in big trouble.
Yeah. So Keith Dudgeon walks in at number 6, which tells you a story about the batting lineup. I know Keith has had some good scores in the 4-day cricket, played well. This is a different ball game. Their batting lineup really is struggling at the moment with their batting lineup. I'm just saying, Keith's a good player, but should be batting at 6 in this team.
Switching Andre Berger around now from the Weinberg end. This is going to be interesting. So Vincent, normally a first innings total in 18 matches at Newlands, it'd be about 144. The last match it was 159, I tell you, for the Tuskers.
Is that a day?
That's a day game, yeah. That's a day game average innings, the first innings. Oh, that's a bit dangerous. See, that's what happens when the pressure's on. You start taking cheeky singles, and you just don't know where you can get run out. Find yourself in all sorts of trouble. I think the best thing they can do now is to look and say, let's get ourselves in, bat. There's not much time to do it, but get yourself in. Let's get the singles, try and bat, run a ball 6 and over, and the bad ball we'll dispatch for 4.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, it's they're in deep trouble here, and but there's a lot of overs left. Get some runs on the board, and and try to defend it. But 28 for 4 is real trouble here.
That's always a matter. How do we recover from here? And especially if you're now into 5 and 6 or 7 batsmen batting now in that order, and you get to a situation, wow, what do we do in this situation? It's not used to coming in that early, because the top order, you need one top order batsman to bat through an innings if you're in a situation like this.
Yeah. And yeah, they've lost Norfollow, who's a good player, our A team, and he's obviously the anchor. One of the other players, Kyle Nipper, I see he's not playing.
He's not playing, yeah.
And he's also been a stalwart for them. A little bit of shape. Or my eyes deceiving me there, Jerry.
No, it was a bit of shape.
Yeah,
it was. Definitely.
A little bit wide, a little bit of shape, but when you've got a youngster in there, he's quite young. Regard, and he's under pressure. He knows he's under pressure here. He can't just play shots.
Our Tuskers have got their work cut out. Interesting stat I'm going to give you now. Oof.
Another great delivery from Nandre. It's a lot of experience. The other thing, the difference between the two sides is also experience. A lot of experience in the Western Province side. The World Sports betting Western Province side. A lot of experience on the field at the moment. Guys that have played leagues around the world, played county cricket, played international cricket. A lot of internationals on the field actually, compared to the Tuskers.
So giving you the stat that I promised, the Tuskers has only played one Division 1 game, T20 challenge game, and that's on Friday night past, losing to the Warriors. So they haven't played in this format in Division 1 yet.
Okay.
So that's why, the going is tough here, because they were in the other division before. So now finding themselves in this division, it's really a matter of, I think they can only do themselves well if with so many players from other provinces, that someone, the CEO there or the coach, needs to look and sign a couple of names, get a bit more experience there, because this is a very inexperienced team by the look of the names I see.
Yeah.
And it's only Delput, I would say, and Erland with a bit of, but you really do need 2 or 3 more experienced players to actually be formidable, especially in this competition.
Yeah, they played in the last competition they played in. That's when the 19s won in competition,
Yes.
the T20 competition. Yeah. They played in and it was a series that was the series that was played in Peter Marisburg was Tuskers. I think it was Easterns and the 19s. I think those were the teams playing. There was 4 teams there, and then the 19s won that, and then went through to win the tournament.
Yeah, the 90s, that was last year, wasn't it? Last season,
yeah.
I remember that very well. So 29 for 4 in all sorts of trouble. Western Province really have tightened the screws here, and all the locks are on. Tuskers will really have to make play of it and see where they can get their next runs to come from, and really make a total that is going to let Western Province wonder, because I tell you what, besides the hell of a bowling lineup that they have, and as you spoke about experience, they've also got good batting to come and explosive batters. That's the thing that they have in Bedingham, Bird, Verreina, De Zorzi. They're all fellows that won't come around to the crease and just muck around here.
Yeah,
they'll get after the bowling and give it the kitchen sink.
Absolutely. I mean, Pongwana, Wayne Cornell. I mean, these guys all can bat. Carl Simmons can bat. You know, they bat deep, so they've got a good batting lineup and a lot of, like I said, a lot of experience also in their batting lineup.
You've mentioned a name that really excites me, a young player, and I just think that we also got, and I'm glad he was with the A team as well, but South Africa just need to be careful, and we still got to just make sure that we wrap him in cotton wool and let him play provincial cricket, is this young Mapangwana. He really excites me. There's just, that's delicately played. Just a little push there between the wicketkeeper and slip, and it'll go to the boundary for 4. He really excites me as a player, this Mpangwana. There's something about him. You know, I get excited about players because it's just something that awakens inside that makes me excited, and he's one of those little fellows that does it to me.
Yeah, he's done very well for us. I remember the knock here the night in the final, the 50 over final, to win the game, and then to win the tournament, to win the competition. You know, he's had a good season a good stint at the National Academy. Was part of Shukri's squad that went to New Zealand. Was that?
Yep.
You know, I know Shukri rates him highly as well, so it's a good player. Very underrated, I think. Underrated, but very good player.
I just think the more provincial cricket he plays, and just leave him here for another year or two. I think before we talk about national honours and putting him high, the A team is playing now, and that's where he should be. And a lot of that. And if he goes and gets drawn closer to the national team, it should be more a learning curve. But I'd like to. My preference is that guys have got to play cricket, play as much as possible. Let's cut away on the offside. That will only be 1. And I just think sometimes some players must just be left to play and let them, learn their trade, get as much information as possible. And in time to come, their time will come.
No, I fully agree with you. In a side like Western Province, especially from batting and bowling, if you look at the type of experience on this field, you bring Dane Patterson in here, him bowling with Dane Patterson, Buren Hendricks, Wayne Parnell, these guys around him can only help him in his bowling. And then obviously if he sits in a batting lineup like this, you're spot on. Sometimes we throw guys too early into the deep end and they struggle, and then they get forgotten about it. They go back into the system, they go on tours and they don't play. Other guys are scoring tons of runs and then they go back into the system again and they get forgotten about it. You've seen that happen over many, many years.
Well, and it's not a matter of them not having the talent. To me, it's big on. I mean, Vincent, for many nights we've had this conversation, and even with the A team when one was involved, and that's what one tried to do. It's the psychological aspect of players sometimes, their head space, their mind space, trying to make them better people, better human beings, because that's what cricket is about. It's not just about, here's a bat, go and play. There's a lot of external factors that sometimes prohibits players from really performing to the optimum. Yeah. And you as a coach or manager or whatever, you've got to be aware of these things, that it's so important to help the player through that periods.
Yeah, and you're spot on. It's such a big part of sport, the mental aspect. It's something that many sportsmen don't know how to deal with. They don't, coaches don't know how to coach it. So, and to guide them through that process, especially when they're struggling with the game mentally. It's a wonderful sport, this game. And it's a team sport. We always say it's a team sport, but you get a ball in your hand and you got a bat in your hand, you're on your own. Even if you're in the field, you're on your own. It's the decisions you make then. And if you're under pressure making those decisions based on external factors like could be issues at home, or a bad run of form, that's gonna influence the way you play. And you've got to need that type of people around you that can guide you through. Sometimes your teammates can get you through that. But coaches, that's an area of coaching that is so important, and players And sometimes you don't even have to, you can have this, just get this connection with your player. And it doesn't even have to be about cricket. You know, you can have a coffee with a player who's going through a bit of a tough period and just have a coffee and connect with him. And that's all he needs, you know. There's such a good point that you brought up now about the mental aspect of the game. You know, we don't, I was just looking, I know we came off the game a bit here, but I was just watching the Sunshine Tour at the moment. Ashwell and I were looking at the scores the other day. There's a number of players who are missing the cut, who've won on the European Tour. You know, and we're going like, what has happened there? And this is exactly what has happened. You know, it's a terrible sport when you're in a bad space. You know, golf, you an avid golfer, you should know that.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, and we're looking at these players who, the Brandon Stones, the Fratellis, and these guys who have won on the European Tour and struggling now to make the cut in the Sunshine Tour. And but it's also mentally they're struggling, you know, and some of them have got injuries. But yeah, it's a very good point you bring up.
Yeah, just a story. I mean, as Parnell is into the attack now, and very good to see him bowling. Vast, experienced player now. It just seems like the other day, Vincent, we were standing there and at the Coca-Cola week, giving him his cap. Here you go, under 18, under 19 for South Africa. There we go. There's your cap, Mr. Parnell. And now you're talking about him as an experienced player. It's unbelievable. Where time has gone.
Yeah, we were. Wayne came with Lonwabis Tsobe. We were playing a series against Australia, and they were included in the one-day team. And there was really the first time I had spent time with Wayne. I knew who he was, and there he was on tour in Sydney, enjoying the team, you know. And this little youngster, and they didn't play. They actually played in the last game. We won the series 4-1. It was dead rubber. It was 3-1. We were leading. We played both him and Lopsy played in the last game in Perth. And we won the game. He bowled well, and then we came back here and they played in the one-day series. He bowled very well in the game at Centurion. Yeah, it was just a youngster who played in the World Cup and very, very impressive.
Oh,
but you're right, the time has flown. So, I mean, here he is now one of the veterans in the side.
Yeah, Nabe now taking over. He's also had quite a relatively decent season for Western Province. Makathikwa Nabe. But just to come back to the point I want to make, you know, I read a book and it was John Smith's book. I just thought it was so apt when he was captain of South Africa, a rugby team, and they were preparing for a match against the All Blacks in South Africa. And where he wrote about his respect for Peter de Villiers, and it just shows when a coach or manager needs to read players. Oh, that's in there!
Oh, just dropped short. Oh, but a great effort by Pongwana.
Unfortunately, we don't have all the angles here, so Vincent and I are relying on our eyes to show us where the ball's gone. But just to finish that story, so he got to the Springbok rugby practice the Monday morning, and Peter de Villiers saw that he was nowhere on the training field whatsoever. He went up to him and said to him, "John, what's wrong?" And he said, "My wife's expecting a baby." And you know what Peter de Villiers did? He said, "Bugger the Springbok rugby practice. You get on a plane, you're off, you be there at the birth of your child and come back." He came back Thursday, a very happy man, a different man. I mean, because obviously that was on his mind. And it just shows you, he didn't say anything to the coach or to anybody that his wife was expecting. Came back Thursday, end result, had a hell of a game the Saturday. Springboks won, beat the All Blacks. Brilliant. So that just shows when you read players, and we're talking about the mental aspect. Wonderful win.
I mean, not talking about the game here. He's not talking about the game. It's something that's affected him back home, and that's what he's found out. And, you know, as I'm saying, as coaches, we sometimes so deeply focus in the game that we don't have this. You've got to get a deeper relationship with your player. You know, get to understand your player. So when you'll notice that there's something not right here, and go to him and say, "Listen." He might not want to share it with you. It could be very personal. He might not want to share it with you, but it's something simple like that. You say, "Look, you don't have to come to practice today. You know, stay in a hotel, and you don't have to come to practice. You know." And those are the type of things. But it is such an important part of the game, especially a game like cricket. You know, so quickly you know you can go through a bad patch and no form, and then get dropped, or pick up a serious injury, the first thing you think is, will I ever play again? And these type of things. So it's, you got to get into the player's mind. You got to understand your players as a coach. Swabble, another great. He just hit the. I mean, this is his strength.
Yeah.
He hits good areas, gets extra bit of bounce.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need, there's such a variety of everything, and that's when you pick a well-balanced team that you can get it on the ticky, nip it there, that's all you want, nibble it away a little bit, not that quick, not that pacey, because your quicks have done the damage already up front. So now he's got an easy because they know they're in big trouble at 40 for 4, and he can just nibble it around.
Yeah, and he's the type of bowler that as a batter, when you've had to fend off Buren Hendricks and Nandre Berger, and he's the type of bowler that you think, I can actually take a bit of risk with him. And funny enough, he cleans you up. He takes a lot of wickets. The Tuskers have also got a bowler like that. Pudaza, who's like that, is a very good bowler, and people just sometimes don't rate him. And they take more risk against him, and he takes a lot of wickets. And this is where Nabi has done very well for Western Province.
Cut away.
Fielded. Fantastic fielding. Babayugi.
Is that Abdullah Bohemi?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good fielding.
A lot of ground here to cover there. It's probably to the further side of the field. But yeah, it's some fantastic fielding.
The other thing, Vincent, besides the mental aspect while we between overs, which I always say is that sometimes that we don't have, or players don't have, and sometimes the coach, that we don't understand the intricacies. Cricket is very different to soccer and rugby in terms of time-wise. You're on long tours, you're away for 5 days at a time, it's a whole day. You're in changing room, you're in each other's space. When you go on tours, it's 8-week tours, it's 9-week tours. And we don't realize that sometimes patience is also crucial in this game to get you to the next level. Not to be impatient.
Yeah, no, look, you're spot on. But, when you do get the opportunities, it's about taking that opportunities. International sport is like that. When you get that opportunity, you've got to take it with both hands. You might not get that opportunity again. Small ball by Wayne now. Lost a bit of pace over the years. There's a lot more about execution of skills now with Wayne. It's nice, ran in, could bowl 140 plus, swung a ball. But now it's about execution of skills, and that's what he does in different leagues now around the world.
Well, you get it in different conditions, and most wickets, you're going to play this format. The wickets are flat. There's no doubt about it, and the bowlers have definitely got to work on skills, because it's only skills. Slower ball, one at the back of the hand, cutters, a different variety of deliveries.
Yeah, it's become such a... if I think back to when T20 was first introduced internationally, when a guy went down on his knee to lap the ball, you go, what is he doing? And if you look at today, it's crazy. The batters have got so much skill. They will reverse lap you, whether you're bowling 140 or not. They will reverse lap you. And this amount of skills they got is crazy. Where they can manipulate fields, where they can, angle bats and get the balls into areas that are so difficult to defend.
Yeah, it's so true what you're saying. And I'm always being ardent, and 4-day and 5-day cricket is whatever. But I tell you what, I sat in the change room as manager of the Paul Rocks when we won the Mzansi League, and with Faf du Plessis as captain in T20, and having long chats at night with Bravo about T20 cricket. That's where my eyes opened up. Oops, here, that's gone. That is brilliant. I think the umpire probably would have been unsighted, but that to me looked out. Nani?
That looked very close. I think that the umpire was quite a good position, but yeah, I don't know. It looked tight.
Unfortunately, we don't have replays and all the bells and whistles, but that looked close.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, just I think Tony released the ball a little bit too late. He got there he got into position very good. Just probably delivered the ball a bit too late.
And I remember asking the music king, Mr. Bravo, and I know the other music king is also Chris Gale, the West Indians. They love their music, and they're always such a happy lot. He was saying, and I said, okay, where do you feel? That's in the air. This would be brilliant if he, oh dear, he was unsighted, the wind circling, he had to turn around. If he had taken that catch, it would have been out of this world. I think A overran it, number 2, the wind up there, and let me tell you, there's a lot of wind up in that air. The ball was hit high in the air.
Yeah, he lost it. Just put a helicopter there, and eventually ran past it and had to turn around, and yeah, by that time it was going to be a very difficult catch.
So I asked him, what is the amount of balls to runs where you know that you're in a good position as a bowling team to win a game? And he was saying to me, they normally worked on, you need to score 80, if there was 80 runs that needed to be get, you needed something like 30 to 35 balls. You knew you were still in with a shout. But anything more than if it was like 20 balls, 80 runs, you as the bowling side, you knew, unless someone comes and plays really out of his socks and hits the ball. But that's the permutations.
But the chances of
Yes,
somebody doing that.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the percentage is so low. Yeah, look, but also depends on wickets in hand.
Yeah. So what did you say? I mean, you've done a hell of a lot of coaching. I mean, in every aspect. How do you see? I mean, knowing the skills these days, knowing that players score runs no matter, and they can bat right up the order. I mean, sometimes that number 8 guys come and win a T20 game. So what did you? That's in the air, and it's gone all the way for 6. Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't a great delivery. Short, deserved the treatment, short boundary.
Yeah, just to catch on the point again, what did you say are the important pointers in T20 cricket when you have a team and...
You're talking now from a bowling point of view?
From a bowling perspective.
Yeah, look, it's, bowling has become, if I look at, when you're preparing a bowling team for a T20 game, there's obviously a few things that you make very clear. It's just know your game plans. What's plan A? What's plan B? Plan A can change because the batter's doing different things. You could be bowling from one end. You got to protect the short boundary, whatever. And sometimes, obviously, the conditions does influence the way you got to bowl. You've gone from I want to hit the deck hard to the conditions are not. It's not great, so slow ball bounces. Let me rather let him try and score to the long boundary. So that can change, but have a clear idea, because once you've read the conditions in the game, have a clear idea as to how you're going to execute, what you want to do to execute. If you don't, I mean, Jamie, you've been watching a lot of cricket, and when a bowler is sitting at the top of his run-up, and he's gone for the first ball of the over, and it goes for 6, you have like 3 or 4 guys run to him, and funny enough, they always seem to be batters. Now, there's nothing wrong with that when your batters are in your ears, because batters do give you clues as to what they would do when they were facing you. But it is important that they keep your mind clear and to help you with execution. Execution is basically what you're looking for. If you're bowling a Yorker, if you're going to bowl a Yorker, a wide Yorker, or whatever Yorker, and a guy nicks it, there's nothing you can do about something like that. Or he gets an inside edge, there's nothing you can do about it. But that's still good execution. But when you're missing lengths, going for 6, it's a different ball game. But it's about having a clear mind as a bowler as to what you want to do for that 24 balls. And so as you see, bowlers will rotate now, and they've got a number of options, which is always great to have a number of options. But I just believe that as a bowler, you've got to come to the game. This is my plan A, B, and C. You know, and sometimes conditions or the state of the game or the way the batter's playing will determine how you're gonna if you're gonna change your game plan. But execution for me is absolutely, you know, I'd rather have a bowler who can bowl 140 plus, bowl 135, but execute properly.
Very pertinent points made, and so insightful. So important bowlers know their roles and what roles they're going to play. Western Province keeping things tidy.
And you just gotta have all these variations, and you gotta be able to perfect it. And how do you perfect it? You gotta get out in the middle there at practices, day in and day out. And I still, you know, there we go.
Might be a bit of a juggle, and then the end. Almost dropped, but well held on in the end. Is that Bird? Bettingham, yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah, it was.
A bit of a juggle, but a very good catch.
Dungeon. And just as you said, Nabi bowling, and you think, all right, that's short, I can get onto him, and you make that mistake because he's just got sometimes just that extra little bit of nip for me there. Yeah.
I tested him. I did some bowling testing. You know, it's basically just to get with a bowl with his suits on and the biomechanical suits. And I tested him. He was still playing for the Warriors. That was 2 years ago, and I came to the Warriors nets. We had Glenton Stearman there and a couple of others, Abrams Boy, and a couple of bowlers there. And Nokia wasn't there that day. He was away. Out of all the bowlers, I said, asked Robert Peterson, the coach, who would be the quickest? Who do you reckon would be the quickest? He said, Vin, don't be surprised if Nabi is right up there. And the fastest ball that got bowled. So they do the testing with the suits on and then take the suits off. And then I got about 6 of the fastest balls that can bowl, physically bowl. And we measure that. And
so sorry to cut you, I just want to get an understanding to explain to the viewers out there, what suits are you talking about?
It's like a biomechanical, so it's a suit with all these sensors in.
Right.
And it sends data to the computers. The ladies, they capture all this data, and they can determine, you know, possible injuries, and that information gets fed back to us. So they bowl with the suit on. It's a full body suit with, and then they take it off, and then they got about 6 deliveries as fast as they can. It doesn't mean that a bowler can bowl that consistently. And the fastest bowler that could bowl was 142 k's per hour, which was him, in T Nabi. And so the guys all sitting there, and we go like, okay. So I said, guys, you want to know who bowled the fastest delivery? And I said, you tell me who bowled the fastest. And they were pointing, him or him. I said, T Nabi.
And they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but he won't be able to bowl a spell of that.
Yeah,
I mean, you know
you're going to get,
You probably bowl one ball close to 140, but then, you know, most of the delivery will be between 130 and 135. That's all it. But ideally, Petukwa got it cranked it up close to 138, but he'll give you a 130 spell, and that's it. The Gerald Coetzee, the Ananokias, the Joe van Dijks, these guys, they can crank it up 140 consistently.
Vincent, you know, I've tried to ask this and figure, when I first watched Andile Petlukwaya, I mean, I thought to myself, goodness, here's the next Lance Klusener. I'm talking about way back when he was still a little bit raw. There was a little pace. He was bowling higher middle 130s, almost breaching on 140, could come in at number 6 or 7 and give it a good old whack at 7 and 8, hit the ball out the ground and whatever. And just watching and I thought that he'd progress and get better and better and better. I'm just talking from a personal point of view, what I've seen. So to me, it's just that I just felt that his cricket, as far as I'm concerned, if there's a misfield once again by Western Province against the better sides, they'll really have to make sure that they don't make all these mistakes. Just to ask, what has gone wrong, or do you see it differently? I don't see the same intensity.
No, you're right. I think it was I think it could have been 2014. We did a tri-series. We used to have this tri-series with Australia and India. It was an A series, and we had the series in Australia, and we played. And I used them as opening bowlers because they swung the ball and seamed the ball. And I used Andile Petuqua and Dwayne Pretorius. I had faster bowlers in it, but I used them because they swung the ball. And the facilities, I mean, the pitches were quite spicy. So I used the two of them to open the bowling. And he opened the bowling, and he had this gas bumper, you know. I mean, he bowled quick bouncer, Andile Petuqua. So the two of them swung a ball and also seamed, and they were effective up front. That's why I used them to open. But you're right, he's lost his pace, lost a lot of pace. And look, it's one thing that, look, he's focused obviously a lot more on his batting. You can't not, and I said it earlier, you can't not spend hours on your bowling. You know, Jimmy Anderson takes 700 wickets. Jimmy Anderson works every day on his bowling. At 41 to take 700 test wickets, it tells you a story. You know, and you're not prepared to put that time and hours into your bowling. If I think back to one-day cricket, the guy who worked the hardest in our setup when I was there was Charles Langeveld. And that's why he became one of the best one-day bowlers in the world, you know, because he just worked on his skills, and it was making sure that if I'm going to bowl a slow ball, I want to perfect it. If it's a knuckle ball, or it's a off-cutter or a leg cutter, I've got to perfect it.
Oh, he's bowled him. Well. That was, he tried to give it the big old heave. And off stump there castled comprehensively. So another wicket, they've just been stuttering here, the 6th wicket down for 69. And really and truly, watching the Tuskers really struggling, very really interesting. I mean, it's always fascinating discussing the game, and I know it's a T20, but it's so good to talk about these different variations and give the people at home absolutely all the knowledge and the things that it's been acquired over the years and working with these young players. So, I mean, you have been an intricate part in the lives of a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to Charles Langeveld last year sometime about, you know, about bowling these variations and slower ball variations. You know, bowling if you're bowling 140 and you've got a slower ball that's 110, 120. What was the last wicket?
Sorry, what was the last wicket?
Red card.
Who?
So even with your slow ball, there's variation with slow balls. So you want to bowl, if you can bowl 140 and there's 125 slow ball, you should also have 110 slow ball.
Oh! I just also felt sometimes with Andile Petuqua, he was trying too much variations, you know, and very reluctant, because he had a good Yorker as well. And when Charles Langeveld was also with the national team, I remember speaking to him on a flight, and I said, Charles, you were such a good bowler at the death. Why is it that a lot of and he actually shared a sentiment with me that some of the players were reluctant to bowl Yorker-led ball because they felt if a batsman gets an edge to it or whatever. But as you said, execution. If you execute a Yorker properly and you bowl it right onto the stumps, you're not supposed to get any runs on that because there's nothing you can do with it. But it's all about execution,
Yeah, look, I mean, into today's game, I mean, if the word is obviously is to be is that batters are aware that that's what you do, and you don't want to become too obvious. That's what. It's easier to score. They know you're going to fire in Yorkers. It's easier. They sit on their knees and they wait for you, and they can flick you on either side of the stump. So, and it's frustrating for you as a. But I think the important thing is no matter what skill it is, you got to perfect it. You're going to get it wrong in a game, but you got to perfect it. You can't just for the first time run in and want to bowl a back of the hand slow ball. It's not going to work. So. Think back to, like I said, you're an avid golfer. People like these Tiger Woods, it takes them months to perfect a simple shot, simple high cut or low draw or something. They take them years months to perfect it.
Oh, that's one. You see that one just nipped off a length, and the batsman very unsure of himself. Yeah, Vincent, would you be able to go in and the whole day? You go in the morning and go and hit about 5,000 chips a day, 5,000 putts a day. That's what Tiger Woods used to do. Madness. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's why I suppose sportsmen, they get to the top of their bar. I'm sure a guy like Shane Warne bowled hour after hour after hour, perfecting every skill that there was. The art of leg spin bowling. Just come back also the point in you're talking about spinners. When T20 cricket started, spinners being selected was unheard of. Now they play such a crucial role.
Yeah, the spinners are, especially when you can, especially wrist spinners, and you can turn a ball both ways. It's such a skill to have. And as you can see, they dominate T20. The Shamsies, the Rashid Khans, these guys. We just saw a test match now with Kuldeep Yadav. He's an exceptional bowler.
Sure.
Not only T20, but you saw in test match cricket as well. And the difference, obviously, in test match cricket, in T20 cricket, you've got to play at every ball. Whereas and I remember, like Ajmal, the Pakistani, the difference between test cricket and one-day cricket. Why he was so good at T20 and one-day cricket. But, in test cricket, you could leave balls.
As easy as you want it. The 7th wicket down. And Nabe gets his second.
And there we go. If we watched this over now, and 2 of the balls it just shows the amount of bounce he gets off. And the young players try to hit him over the top, extra bit of bounce. Got it high up on the bat and out. Now they're going to try to at least bat out this final 6.5 overs.
That's going to be very difficult to do. It's 14 overs now. We're in the 14th with 2 balls remaining, 70 for 7. The Tuskers in all the world, they're in danger of being bowled out for less than what they scored the other night. 88. They won the toss, elected to bat. But they haven't done themselves any favors here. It's been a tough ask for them against a very polished World Sports Betting Western Province team. And you can see that the Tuskers are young. There's very little experience, as we said. I've gone through the statistics and looked through there and see how many games they played. As I said, the only guy with a dearth of experience is Cameron Delport with about 266 T20, and he's played all over the world. He's been from Dubai to Tukai. That's where he's played his cricket.
It's the first for me, Dubai to Tukai.
He's a character, that Cameron Delport.
No, he is.
Gosh.
But he's a player that on his day he can absolutely destroy you. It's.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the difference here. It's the World Sports Betting Western Province team is just a lot of experience. Everybody knows what they need to do, and they just do it to go about their business doing it. They've been doing this for years now. they've had a very good bowling attack now for the past couple of years.
Yeah, the powerhouses of South African cricket, very important. Titans, Western Province,
They've
Lions.
they won the 50-over competition. Should have won the 4-day competition. And you know, stand a good chance here in the T20 again. So,
yeah. Well, there's been a drought here in Cape Town also, Vincent, in terms of trophies. So I think people reckon it's by time that this Western Province becomes a, powerhouse again. They've done well winning the 50 over. They threw away, I think more or less the 5-day competition because they were in a commanding position for 3 days, but all well done to the Lions for, what a knock it was in the second innings and first innings, Delano Potgieter. And then coming and bowling out Western Province at the Wanderers. That was a monumental effort. And we've seen some great cricket there for 4 days. So
I like to bring in Andre strike bowler back in and
yeah.
now he's into his final over, but this is good.
Just too quick for him. Clock's at over 140 and Nandre Burger, high 140s. That's quick. I don't even drive 140.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's had his fair share of injuries, and it's just so good to see him back on the park playing regularly now. He missed the 4-day final, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did.
But it's just so good to see him. I mean, I remember him having some serious injuries and, really in a dark place. And it's good to see him back now for the past year and a bit.
I saw him one morning. I go for a walk, I mean, we live close to each other, and then go on my walk in the mornings, and I was walking past Constantia village on that route down that way, and there was Nandre Burger jogging past, and he came there with a lot of food in a parcel. He was coming from Pick and Pay in Constantia, and I said, "Oh, you're living in Cape Town?" I knew he was here, and he came up and greeted and said, "Hi sir, how are you doing?" I said, you mustn't eat too much if you want to play for South Africa one day. Eh? I see that. He said, no. He said, everything in here is healthy. I said, no, that's good to know. And saw him running back home. I don't know where he lived, but it seemed quite a distance that he had to jog to get back to eat. And really a nice kid. And I've watched him already from Gauteng days, and when he played there at the Lions. And good to see that he has come through the ranks.
Yeah, no, he's looking great and fit, strong. He just looked, chatted him before the game now, and he just looks strong and lean and excellent condition.
Wow, that's a good shot. That's attractive and handsome, and it's gone all the way. No, it hasn't. It's good running.
You could actually run 6 to that boundary.
Yeah.
It's as far. It's a long boundary, and that was a fantastic shot, though.
Of the rare good shots we've seen today, must admit.
See the slow clapping from the crowd. I'm not sure if it's for they want to see some more sixes or more wickets.
Well, knowing the Potters and Newlands crowd, there's only one thing. When they see the team in blue, anything else doesn't matter.
What's it?
Last delivery. Last ball of his spell. Come off the pads, get another single. Well, he's been outstanding again. He's 4 overs, 2 for 22. It's been very, very good there, Nandre Burger. He can feel happy with the day's work. That's the nice thing about T20 over. 4 overs, off you go, 12 man on, feet up, get into the ice bath.
It's quite interesting. I was, Ashwell and I were in Nigeria now for almost 3 weeks, and they don't play red ball cricket, which to me is bread and butter. And that's where we learn how to play cricket.
They don't play red ball
They
cricket.
don't play red ball cricket, no.
Wow.
So they actually almost only play 20 over cricket now.
Right.
And that's because it's a great show. They basically only play 20 over cricket now because of facilities. There isn't enough facilities for them to be playing 50 over and 20 over. So, and if they play 50 over competition, they'll play 1 50 over game a month. So, and that's because of the lack of facilities. So they play a lot of T20 because you can play 4 matches over a weekend, but they play no red ball. And when you think about
That's edged away for 4. No slip in position, which you can understand at this stage of the game. And 4 fortuitous runs.
And if you think about, when you want to learn how to play this game, red ball cricket is so important. I don't care what people say. I've seen a couple of quotes over the weekend now about red ball cricket. Players who are now playing T20 cricket, but where they learned their bread and butter was red ball cricket. And this is it's such a shame because they don't understand how to bowl innings. They don't understand how to bowl spells. They bowl 4 overs, and that's all they know. They don't know how to bowl. Bowl in the heat and come off the tee with a secondary ball and stuff like that. They don't understand that, and it's such a pity because that is such a major part of cricket. Test cricket for me is still the best. It's a great shot.
Oh. That was a good shot, that. That'll be wider. Yeah, that's how when players earn. They've just gone hit for 6, and then you think, oh, right, let me try something different, and then you bowl a wide, which means now it's another extra ball that can also go for a boundary.
Yeah, they've been pretty disciplined. I mean, they've given the Tuskers really nothing. But look, this is how the game designed. You're allowed to hit a 6, so
Yeah.
it was a great shot, actually.
It was a good shot, yeah. We're so prone to think that bowlers at times just, they can't make mistakes. But cricket, that's where you learn from earning. And that's what makes the game so interesting. It makes it so enticing. I think anybody that doesn't know cricket and that says it's a boring game, they need their head read. Can't be normal if you don't like the game.
That's extra bit of bounce again. Hit him on the head. It did.
Yeah,
I
it
think
did
hit
scan
again.
him.
It did hit the helmet. He's probably got to do the test now. Got to do the
concussion test.
There we go. Physio on the field. So what I can't understand, right? So I'm watching a test match yesterday, England and India. In the short leg, Stokes and Bashir Youngster was batting, and he's flicked that one, and he's hit the short leg against the head, and the ball has shot, obviously go and catch it, but it's landed in space, but nobody came out on the field to check the short leg.
Yeah, it should have.
Yeah, it should be. It's the same thing. You're getting hit by a ball against the head. So they've got to obviously assess now concussion, but also assess the helmet, whether there's any weak spots on it. So. I was trying to figure out why the physio didn't come on the field for the short leg. not sure why. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean,
In fact,
if a keeper gets knocked on the head,
I mean,
also,
he's stuck, but he's got squat properly. I mean, Root hit him against the head. And but anyway, look, I'm not sure why it wasn't a concussion test. But nowadays, it's the other thing about it now. I mean, I know that you were a manager before, and you've got to carry all these helmets with you. When you go on tour now, you've got to carry 10 helmets with you, so extra helmet, extra luggage with you. You've got to take, which is also a bloody, it's a bit of a slap.
Do you remember I used to tear our hair out about getting the luggage right in order to get? I remember sitting in your office and you and I would count the blooming stuff to make sure that everything was the right weight and whatever. And then at times, when it was overweight, we had to pay the extra to get all the luggage.
So now you've got to take a whole box of helmets with you extra.
Absolutely. Well, the nice thing about touring India, I must admit, is that they do have separate cargo and trucks that came and fetched the luggage so that we could get on the bus with our light luggage and the trucks would go. But the step to make sure that all these things were outside the hotel room at 4 o'clock in the morning and telling players that we're flying at 6 when you're flying internally there. Yeah, some players don't like to get out of bed, and then you're going to say the bus leaves. I've left one or two behind already. In Bangalore, the fellow bowling from that end there, the Calvin Grove, him and his mate, Dwayne Ulifi. And they normally say first day of the tour, that's where you get it right. Practice first morning, bus leaves at 8 o'clock. I said to the driver, start up, and off we went from the hotel. We were staying at the Ritz, in Bangalore. Yeah. And the two of them, him and Dwayne Ulifi, had to jog to the stadium in the morning. And they came and they walked in the change room and they said, sorry, Manny, I said, you don't owe me an apology. Fine $10. You owe the team an apology. I tell you what, the next morning I was at the bus at 7:45. Every player was on the bus. For 8 weeks, no problem.
Yeah, I think the important point is letting your fellow players down. It's not about the fine, it's about letting your fellow players down. You don't want to... There's a few things that that there's zero tolerance, and that's the discipline. Yeah. Your punctuality is, as a coach, I mean, you'd rather come early than rather 10, 15 minutes early than 10 minutes late. So, yeah. But
you know what? The other story come out of that wasn't. I mean, I think Clifford was manager of Clifford Dodgen when I was on the board here at the Cobras. That's in the air and that's handsomely hit. Is it going to go all the way? No, it won't. It's almost like we'll just stop there. But they could. Running was a bit lazy. They should have gone for 3. And they're just trotting along. And we went with the Cobras to this Champions Trophy. And I remember I went on a trip, and it was amazing to see, talking about discipline and time, when players are that tight with each other. That 5 minutes before the bus, Vernon would look, where's Stian van Zyl? Motor out of the bus, exactly a minute to go to 8 or 30 seconds before the bus would leave, Stian would appear and he's on the bus. He made sure that his mate was there because Stian was a wanderer. and I thought, without saying anything, I just thought to myself, well, that's what cricket does, the camaraderie when you're mates and you're really tight with one another. That you look out for your mate and you look at the bus, you say, where is he? And that you go and call him and get him to be ready. I just think, to me, those are just the things around the game that shows the character of the human being, the person you are and the person you'll be in life. Because cricket, to me, it's a life. It's a way of life.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time with each other, away from home. You know that. That was the one year. We toured so much, but including the time that we played in South Africa, that I was away from home. So it means playing in Durban or Pretoria or Johannesburg. In a calendar year, I was away from home for 309 days. And that's probably the worst. It's probably the worst. But we had an England tour in there, we had an Australian tour in there. It was a full year of cricket. It will never happen again. We play far too little cricket. Yeah. We play way too little cricket. I'm still looking at Jimmy getting 700 wickets. Yeah. how many tests.
Sure.
I don't think we'll get a bowler who's just starting in his career now who will get 300 wickets. You know, we play far too little cricket now. I mean, then we used to play 5-day tests and 4-day tests. And now that's no longer.
When you talk about bowlers, let's just look at Kagiso Rabada. Where could he not have ended up? Where would he not end up at the end of his career if he played sufficient test matches? He's not. I don't think, what's he now on 200 and odd test wickets, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah. You know, he could have maybe surpassed Dale Steyn, but will he get past that 434? With the amount of test cricket he's done, and how long his career still got to go? What is he now, 27, 26? Around about there. And you know that the optimum life of a fast bowler, when you get into your early 30s, that's sometimes where your niggles start. And Alan Donald was fine for 10 years of his career. And he was quick, supple.
Yeah, no, we play far too little test cricket now. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the next test, we just had a test series in New Zealand. Next test series is in August.
That's West Indies, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and then it's way too little test cricket.
And then in between, your A team doesn't play any cricket either, because that's the feeder system.
Yeah.
I believe that the step below this to international cricket, that's the in-between A team. Yeah, I think also the systems and things need to be re-looked at in South Africa, where we are, and get it back to the strength versus strength situation, and making sure that the cricket that's being provided is quality. And that's what you want to see. That's what people pay money. You owe it to your clients. It's cut away. Boundaries very, very difficult to find by. You can't expect these batters batting right at the end here. Makletla and Manikam. They've tried 98 at the moment, batting at 5.5 to the over.
Yeah, it's a little partnership. I mean, look, they got about at 20 overs.
Yeah.
At least get something to defend. But at this stage, it's just, no matter what they get, I think it's going to be just a little.
One. A slow, lazy afternoon at Newlands. Everybody's quiet. There has been a rattle here and there, but pulled away. And a good boundary. So 100 up for the Tuskers with that pull shot from Manikam. 103 for 7 now after 18 overs. Well, they got to say the next 2 overs, if they can get 12, 15 runs, get close to that 120 run mark, they'll be able to put Western Province under pressure. In Rips, he's been very tidy into his 4th. See, he saw the batsman coming. It was clever bowling, and then just held it back a little bit. Batsmen normally at this stage of the innings, they're looking to hit anything they can get. Fielders will have to be on their guard as well, because anything can go up in the air. There's no slip in position, so good scoring opportunities, and Nick passed for a slip.
Yeah, look, the way Buren's Buren's plan here is to obviously protect from the short boundary, bowling wide outside off stump now, so that you can score on the offside with it's a longer boundary. If you're thinking, why don't you try and knock him over? But obviously gets it wrong. It's a short boundary.
Absolutely.
That side, it is tempting as a bowler run up. You're thinking you're bowling to number 9 and 10 or 8 and 9, and you're thinking that let me go straight there and they whack you over the short boundary. That's well bowled.
Yeah.
That's well bowled.
Excellent ball. That's what you want at the death, full and straight. The bit of wide outside off stump. He can't get underneath to loft it to the leg side. And as you said, he's only got. So you've got your extra cover and you've got a man on the boundary, the offside. So that's the only way you can hit it out. Got to get it totally wrong and full for him to pull it for 6 from there outside off stump. And that'll be a very good shot. There's 3 boundary rounders on the leg side.
I think you got away with it, Dave. You got away with it. I thought it was a wide, wasn't
I
it?
also thought it was a
very
wide.
wide.
I think Mr. Gampu let him off the hook.
Yeah, they look very wide. Swap out.
Toe end of the bat.
This is, if you had better players in there who've been walking across it,
Yeah.
targeting that short boundary.
Buren's 15 runs, 1 wicket off his 4 overs has been outstanding, and all the Western Province bowlers have been good. Beg your pardon. Manel will bowl his 4th. And then he'd have used his 5 bowlers. So both Berger, Simons, and Nabe 2 apiece. And Buren with 1. Manel still wicketless. But his 3 overs with just 18 runs. Well bowled. It's in the block hole. Full and deep. Not giving the batsman any room to try and get underneath it.
There's only 3 in the ring. Okay, finally coming in.
Oh, that's a good shot. Just hit it over. Mid-off. It's gone 1 bounce into the fence for 4. Maplepa has played a gem of an innings there. He's 22.
Yeah, the 2 of them have put 42 runs here. So
Yeah.
I still don't believe it's going to be competitive, but it's, at least you've got something to bowl at.
That's the point. Three balls to go. That's in the air, and it's skewered off the side of the bat down to a deepish 3rd man. Only a single. The announcer at the stadium is trying to get the crowd going. They're having none of it. It's Sunday afternoon, boys. But it's normally sleeping time, Vincent. Wake up, cup of tea,
Siesta.
a siesta. Well, there's some business this afternoon as we arch rivals today, Liverpool, Man City. It should be a nice hammy this for us to watch later on.
Is it a big game? Is it a big game?
Well, for
Big game
Liverpool,
for Liverpool, big game?
well, we want to be top of the log. We want to remain there. We want to win the league again
Yeah, no,
before
it's
Klopp
good.
goes. I think because I'm just worried when Klopp departs, it could be a long wait again. I know your good mate Ashwell Prince as well. He gives you more beans than I do. Don't worry.
Ashwell's actually been quiet, but
Has he? But Liverpool's been winning.
Yeah, he's been throwing the odd chirp in for this game coming up today. So
Well, I tell you something. If Ashwell Prince doesn't chirp, then he's not normal.
yeah, no,
Yeah, you've been having an off day.
yeah. Look, what 115. Don't believe it's enough. At least they got something to defend.
Yeah, at least gives him something to bowl to, and well, who just knows a little bit of a flutter. I still think I'm with you that this is not enough against this powerhouse lineup, but just to give them a bit of confidence. Imagine power play, you get 1 or 2 wickets. Suddenly it gets them G'd up, it gets their spirit up, and you never know in T20 cricket. I always say this is the game of never knows when it comes to T20 cricket. But all in all, Western Province on this it's a good wicket. They should look to, but I mean the bowling figures was the Simons, he's 4 overs, 2 for 20. Bonnell, 0 for 26 in his 4. Hendricks was outstanding, 1 for 15 in his 4. Nabi was good as well. He's 4 overs, 2 for 28. And Berger, he's been the gem thus far this season for his 22. And then also the highest score made was the 26 from Dodgen, and then supported there by Mkletwa getting 24. So 115 for 7 is what the AET Tuskers got, and the World Sports Betting Western Province need 116 to win. I think we're going to have a little break, and when we come back, it will be the innings of Western Province. Welcome back to Newlands. 117, 116, I beg your pardon. It's the Western Province, World Sports Betting. Western Province required to win this game here today at Newlands. And, well, it's going to be, they have their work cut out, Zorzi and Bird. They should get themselves off to a good partnership. Western Province to get to that total. They are two exciting prospects. Bedingham in the 3, Bahrain at 4, and Panguana. Bedingham. Oh, it seems as if Bedingham is opening the batting, not Jonathan Bird, with the Zorzi, so Bird will probably come down the order. What a lot of exciting batsmen in this Western Province lineup. Youngsters, Bird, Bedingham, Mapongwane, who excites me a lot. Simons, Bonnell, Moyemi. There's no slouch with the bat either. Buren Hendricks can hold his own.
Yeah, I think it's more left-right-hand combination because Bird opens with the Zorzi. It's two left-handers. I saw against Dolphins, the same happened. Bedingham opened with Tony de Zorzi. Bedingham would go out and Verreynne walk to the wicket. I'm not sure if it's Verreynne will bat at 3. Even if we lose a left-hander, if he'll come to the crease. So yeah, we'll see. But John Bird has always been the opener. Keith Dudgeon, I like him. Hard worker, honest bowler.
From the Weinberg end. Full delivery. Thank you very much. Absolute pie, gone for 4. And what a way to open your account. Nice juicy full delivery.
Yeah, look, you know, as a bowling unit, when you talk to your bowling unit, you always talk about setting the tone, and you know, you want to set the tone as a frontline seamer, and you can't set the tone with that type of delivery. But yeah, he's going to pull it back now. Some field changes, finally has come up, and points gone back out to the boundary.
Slip in position, I suppose, with the score of this magnitude. Oh, that's a better delivery. Quick single, one that just nipped back a little bit off the seam.
Just watched Beddingham's game plan on Friday night, and he actually just kept coming hard. You know, he hit the 6, and I think it was out the next ball. But he was quite aggressive. Like to see him play that. He's probably going to play the same way.
Definitely a player that can play most formats of the game.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
Very good player. He's established him nicely in that test side now.
Bedingham also opens his account. Another single. 7th run of the innings. Comfortable start for Western Province. Batsmen not troubled all that much. The big thing that the Tuskers will need to do is take wickets. That's what they want. Wickets is going to be key if they want to have any say in this game. Otherwise, this star-studded lineup, batting lineup of Western Province, not going to be easy to dislodge all of them. They're making batting easy. They've got the boundary and they've just trotted a couple of singles. 1 ball remaining. Good start thus far, 8 without loss. driven crisply, but well fielded at mid-off. End of the first over, 8 without loss.
Good to see some folk come in this afternoon. Grass embankment, railway stands. Yeah, there's a few people around, which is good.
Yeah, it's nice. You want to see crowd. I mean, there's nothing worse than for players to play in front of an empty stadium. And although you're not going to get the same numbers in terms of the 2020, but it's good. I would just like to see a bit more marketing, a bit more aggressive marketing being done for these games, especially with national players being available. They're available for the first 3 games before they're off to the IPL. And the games have been exciting over the weekend. Budaza. Oh, well bowled. He's not a bad bowler at all, this fella.
Yeah, no,
Let me tell you, yeah.
He's like Ntinabi. You know, they see opportunities, better see opportunities because he's in a lot of pace, but he swings the ball and he's very skillful. You know, and he takes a lot of wickets because of that. You know, guys have got to show him the respect that he deserves. You know, he's been out with the injury. I just spoke to him before the game. Haven't seen him play for a while, and he's been out injured, so he's probably going to have an operation at the end of the season.
Yeah, best of that was for the Knights against the Cobras. 4 for 32, 25 wickets at an average of 21. Not bad at all. Oh, that's a good shot. Well, half stopped by Budaza. Bedingham just looks so comfortable at the crease, eh? So accomplished as a batsman, polished.
Yeah, just like a Friday, he just seemed like in a hurry to score all the time, and I found it strange, It's but if that's the instruction, that's the license he's got to play. Then that's the way he's going to play. He looks a bit more subdued today, though.
Just outside the off stump. Yeah, Vincent Conrad, the late Conrad Hunt, when he came out here with the development program and when after Unity of Cricket 92, involved in Free State Cricket, I was, and then off to Kimberley. We had Conrad Hunt and a lot of the Plascon Academy, you'd remember at the time, I think you were still playing then, but we had the Plascon Academy and Rusty Majid and all these Kaya Majolo, Conrad Hunt always used to say to the young boys, you got to hit the cricket ball inside, out of sight.
That's a good quote there.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, yeah, typical West Indies, gotta hit it inside, out of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they say the other one? See ball, hit ball.
Yeah. And they, if you talk to people like Viv Richards about the game and how simple they make it seem, but the message that comes out there is to hit the ball,
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Oh, that's just hit him on the shins, and that's going to go to the boundary. He half stopped it, but that was hit so hard. Benningham's first boundary. 12 without loss. Well, you're talking about hitting a cricket ball. I tell you, to me, watching the best in one-day cricket, and I know after 1945 was to watch here at Newlands, live, in the afternoon. Desmond Haynes, Herschel Gibbs opening the batting for Western Province. My goodness, you were sure to have a treat.
Yeah, no, I was coaching then. I was coaching when Desmond Haynes was here. I was Duncan Fletcher's assistant coach at the time, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Whoa.
Was Desmond? Yeah, I loved him. Just listening to him talk about batting, his Test career, some of the best in the world. Yeah. Opening with Gordon Greenwich, Viv, Clive Lloyd, these guys. I mean, these were my heroes. I mean, these are guys were people that,
you could relate.
that bowling attack of theirs was Michael Holding will still always be my ultimate hero. Michael Holding, Andy Roberts, Malcolm Marshall. These guys were. That was such a great era of cricket.
No, it's just a pity. It's so unhealthy for world cricket. I know India is strong; they're very strong. England, Australia, but you need a strong West Indian team. You need a strong South Africa. World cricket will be healthier the more stronger side, and especially West Indies getting back. Oh, that's necked, and that's gone. Good night, goodbye, God bless. Off you go. Well bowled. Western Province lose their first wicket. Threw it away there a bit, eh? Looks like he got his wicket, got himself into a knot there. Well, you said earlier you love the make of this Dudgeon fellow. He looks a strong, good presence at the crease with the bowling action.
Yeah, no, did some bowling testing with him as well. Whenever there was opportunities to, he would want to come and play in academy games and stuff like that. He was always available. He would always contact me to play and always wants to improve. If he was going to move, if there was any, he'd contact me just for advice and he just wants to take his career forward. And I've always rated him as a bowler.
Well, it's nice when you get that type of cricketer that's keen and. No, he's not selected, but keen to be involved. That's fantastic, because that just shows the keenness to want to play, to want to be involved, and just to get as much cricket under your belt as possible. And it pays off in the end. You just got to be patient sometimes. Wait for the opportune moment. Mother Cricket does reward you when you're good to the game. Oopsie. It's a good bouncer, that. I think that was a well-directed delivery.
Yeah, it wasn't controlled. But it's quite interesting because Calvareno walked in at 3 the other night against the Dolphins. And I thought at the time that he's batting at 3 because they lost Bedingham, right-hander, and they would have a right-hander, left-hander at the crease. But now they've got 2 left-handers. So Varena's now obviously batting at 4. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I think that the important thing for World Sports Betting Western Province here is, these are, you can take risk, but these are quality bowler, not a big total they're chasing. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to score runs. And they can win with a bonus work.
And that is so important, because later on in the competition, let me tell you something for nothing. Those bonus points help and they count. Cut away! And there's that insurance on the fence on the offside, only a single. And especially home games, Vincent, it's so important. Win clinically, so that you don't find yourself when it comes to semi-final time, I need another win and I got to go away, or a home final or a home semi-final. It's so good to say, right, let's play good cricket, let's win convincingly, let's win. And then you find yourself at the top of the table.
Yeah, if you think back to the 50 over competition, Western Province was quite aggressive up front. The Zorsi, Bedingham, they were quite aggressive, and that's the way they played, and they played that way no matter what the situation was, which is good. At times that. A lot of teams play situations and it changes the way they're playing because of the situation. Sometimes it will determine that, but in most cases you will change the way you're playing based on the conditions. Conditions determine sometimes. You can't play this type of expensive game. But I've enjoyed the way they played white ball cricket in Western Province.
Yeah, good to know that that one is onto it like a flash. So manages to pull it down, better controlled. Rolling of the wrist better.
I think Tony De Zorsi has lost CSA a few white balls. That railway stand there. He's hit a few in there, and they haven't come back. So He's probably looking at that at that railway stand again. That railway stand's not far away though.
Well, what do they cost these days, Vincent? They're over 2,000 rand a ball. So I deduct it from his match fee too.
I remember, an official talking about these, how expensive these balls are. Can't be just using for the next game. It's got to be brand new when you start the game. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
We've got to pick it out of the box.
Yes. Maybe think of some of the other sports they play. I mean, it's probably baseball is the same. Once a ball gets thrown into the dirt, the new ball. But like football, you can play with the ball again and shot.
Oh, you got hold of that.
That is the furthest part of the boundary, furthest part of the ground, and that's been hammered.
Here we go. Signals show fly SAA. Immediately changes in the field.
Always. Slip comes out. I'm not sure why slip was there. There's no swing.
Let's pull that again. Work to do for the man on the boundary. The square leg boundary gets it in. And they too comfortably for Western Province. Seems like he's just waiting to bludgeon something again out of the ground.
He's not going to hang around here. He's going to get on with the game. That's the way he's played. That is the way he's played white ball cricket. I mean, he got a big 100 here in the game against the Tuskers in 50 over. What an innings.
He's a good player, and I tell you what, product of King Edward's in Joburg. Very good fly-off too, Vincent. I've seen him play a few rugby games at fly-off for Kes. He had it. That's bludgeoned away on the offside for 4. No need to run for that.
Yeah, there's a good deck. There's a good deck. So I'm saying there hasn't been any swing, hardly any seam. There's been the odd ball that bounced, but it's been such a good deck. And 116 is not a 116 wicket. So Tuskers have really let themselves down here.
It's amazing how good fly-offs are as batsmen. You look back, Gavin Cowley, Lee Barnard, Herschel Gibbs, Peter Kirsten, all were very, very good fly-offs in their days and good batsmen. Fahmi Solomons played fly-off for Western Province. He wasn't a bad batsman. Left-hand batter.
What's his name? Watkill played. He played.
Corbin Bosch. Alistair was scrum half.
Scrum half. Also a batter. Also better. Played for EP. I played against him cricket.
Alistair could see it.
They looked a bit high though. Anyway, you're not standing square of the wicket. That's her job, and she shows that it's one for the over.
She's quite accomplished, Laura.
Yeah, she's done exceptionally well. Standing now in international cricket as well. Marera, that's retired.
Yeah, he's
a big blow to the.
That's a big blow to international cricket. The end of Marie Erasmus. He's probably been the best for a long time.
Yeah.
Kirtland Manicum into the bowling attack. Maybe off spin?
Yeah, I did some work with him about a year and a half ago, just to help him with his bowling. Spent some time with him in Pietermaritzburg.
Does he hail from that side? Then?
He's from Durban. But it's good to see him playing because he hasn't been playing regularly. He hasn't played in there because they use Michael Erlang and No Fall and Ndebele as their spin option. So it was good to see him playing. Yeah, got some runs today as well.
Down the ground, bludgeon for 4. As straight as a dime, the best place on the cricket field to hit a ball, straight past the bowler. Good shot. As the shots played, you hear the song Kingston Town. Yeah, man. What is it? The place where Brian Lara comes from? Is it Trinidad, eh? Trinidad, yeah. And South Africa were playing there, and I think Donald was bowling to Lara, and all they said, "Hey, Donald, Lara licks you all day long. Lara will lick you all day long." Yeah, and did he lick him? Use of the feet again.
We played in the series. And Sean Pollock had missed the first couple of games because he had an ankle up, and so when he came over, there wasn't any facility. We were playing in Barbados, and there wasn't any facilities at Barbados. So it's another great shot. 6. Not a lot of turn on offer, and unfortunately, with a field in a power play, you're on hiding to nothing. And we had to. I had to take Sean with his bowling. We had to take him to one of the university grounds, and Sean was bowling, and then we would have his throwdowns after he would bat. And there was a guy I could hear. The game was on at the moment. The test game was on.
It's 4.
It's another 4. And the test game was on at the main ground, and we were at the university. Myself and a fitness trainer with Sean. Sean bowled a bit and then was batting, and so I saw this guy sitting in the res. So I walked across, I could hear him. So I heard that he was listening to the cricket. So I walked across to him and I said, "Excuse me, what's the score?" So obviously I'm involved in the test match. And the guy said, he gave me the score, and I said, "Oh, okay, who's batting?" He says, "Brian Lara." I said, "And he's toying with your bowlers."
Yeah.
He's toying with your bowlers. Oh my word.
Oh gosh.
As we got back into the ground, he got out. Andre Nel got him out. Chipped the ball straight to middle.
Yeah. So you were the lucky charm coming back. You should never have gone in the first place.
Andre Nel on that tour got him out so many times.
Yeah, what a player. My goodness, he was special.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, that's a good hit. Down the ground again. Couple of bounces over the fence.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the thing is just you ask your bowlers, who would you not want to bowl against? You get all the big names together, and he's right up there.
Yeah.
Most of the bowlers say Brian Lara. You could bowl to Ted Doka. You could bowl to these guys. I mean, some of the best
Colours
players
and these guys, yeah.
You can bowl to them, but Brian Lara, no.
That's in the air. That's a wicket. And, well. Another wicket down. Budaza gets rid of Dzozi for 25, 49 for 1. Oh, sorry, it's Petla. Thought it was Budaza. Norval did the catching.
Yeah, just if you look at that delivery now, it's an extra bit of bounce. That's got him out, hit him out on the bat. That's really been the only thing in the wicket is a little bit of inconsistent bounce.
captain in now, Carl Verena, in at number 4. He's been in good form lately with the bat. Verena, he's experienced in this form of cricket as well. And his T20 career record, 58 matches, 1,113 runs. With the best of 116, a strike rate of 134.
Was it 116 in SA20?
Yeah, that was a SA20 of his Pretoria
Yes, no,
Capitals.
was
recently, yes. So that's his career statistics. And his statistics at Western Province, because we got both here, is at 27 games. Well, he's got a higher score, 45. I can't believe it.
Yeah, look, you better down the order.
Yeah, that's
He
also
probably
true.
came in at 6-7.
That was 2021, Cobras Knights in Durban. A strike rate of 113, but overall his strike rate is better than that, 134 in his career. And still climbing. Bold. Good delivery. Oh, that thudding noise you heard of plates falling earlier on, it wasn't a Greek party, that I can assure you. I think the poor caterer's in all sorts of trouble. I think the tray of plates just went. One massive thud. Nicely played, nicely bowled.
Yeah, it's difficult now for them to try and defend this. And they need less than 4.6 runs and over. What did they need?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.6 runs and over. It's very difficult to defend. I mean, they can cruise home, but they'll probably want to win this game with a bonus point.
I think they got to win it within 16 overs. That was trying to get just eluding over his head there. They'll turn for a couple. 50 up as well on the scoreboard. End of the 6th over. Probably the most loved song played at all stadiums in the world. Sweet Caroline. Hope she's as sweet as they say. Such a nice song for a stadium, especially when it's packed. Yeah.
Crowd getting involved in the song.
Tudgeon bludgeon for 4. Good shot, Jonathan Bird. Foot to the ball and just hitting through the line.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Tuskers, they've got to keep guys in the ring. They've got to try to get wickets. So it's pointless putting everybody on the boundary. Got 6 in the ring, and
Yeah.
you know, the shot get through the inner ring. Yeah, it's 4.
Outside edge of the bat, down to third man. 58 now the score is. Birds race to 22. Nicely controlled by Verena, bowling the short delivery, well in control, pulling it in front of square, just for a single. Yeah, for a bouncer to be effective, you've got to get the batsman play at about shoulder height, because that's when he hits the ball in the air. If he's not in full control, to roll the risk over the ball. Good single. Not only have they hit the ball for boundaries well, they've run well between the wickets as well. Western Province.
It's just seen the umpire give the mid-off there a bit of a look. Bouncing it, I mean, he's in the ring. I mean, he's bounced it into the keeper. And she's given him a bit of a stare there.
It's in the air, and it's going to elude the fielder at mid-on, and it'll get a boundary for it. Thought for a moment it was straight to the fielder. He's pulled it onto his stumps. Wasn't all that short to play the pull shot. And the end of Farina, the third wicket's down. And Western Province are 64 for 3 after 7. Pungwana, next man in. One of the youngsters that do excite me. Tall, lanky fellow. Handy with bat in hand. Surprised he didn't bowl today.
Yeah, probably. No, it wasn't.
I know it wasn't needed, but I mean, I thought they would have said to me years and over twos. That one cut away by Bird. Netleblela, bowling attack. You say you know about this youngster as well, Vincent? He's
yeah, he was at academy a few years ago.
right.
It's been around, and played. He was at the Dolphins as well.
Smangaliso. Nebela. Nebela.
I'm sure he was at. I'm sure he was at the Warriors as well.
The Warriors.
Yeah, he was at the Warriors as well.
Left arm spin. Nicely bowled. Like the control of flight. Got to give it a bit of air.
Yeah, to a right-hander with a short boundary, maybe not a good idea.
You played with him, Lefty Adams. He always used to say "de." But man. What a character he was, Lefty Adams.
absolutely.
My goodness.
How long is it going to take for Guana to have a crack at that short boundary there? Bit of a slog sweep there.
Yeah. I think if he gives him one up, it's going to go. Just feeling himself with those long levers. I was watching the bit of that PSL, Pakistan League, and you know, you normally see a cricket bat. Oopsie, that was so nearly the end of Bird. Well stopped in the end. But a bat breaking off right at the handle was yesterday was Pollard's bat. SS, he tried to hit the ball and it broke neck off.
Oh, wow.
Bang! And he stood with a handle in his hand, bat went flying. And the worst part is they brought him a new bat. Next ball, neck gone. Bye. Tais-toi. At Tuskers, they got beaten by the Warriors on Friday night.
Was that a bonus point, Minnie?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's a good shot.
Was that a bonus point win on Friday night for the Warriors?
What if they batted first? They got 125. They were all out. They bowled them out for 88. But it all depends where did they bowl them out and what was the runs difference then for a bonus point win.
No, the bonus point is when you're batting second is the runs.
Yeah. Now when you're batting second,
you've got to win within 16 overs.
16 overs. That's it. So let's just see. I think I've got the log positions here, and then we'll clearly see whether they won with a bonus point. I've got it here in front of me.
Yeah, call there, but it's appeal, but it's looked a bit high.
Yeah, they got a bonus point. They got a bonus point. They won.
So you score 125 and win with a bonus point.
Yeah, they won. And they bowled him out. Yeah, they got 5 points. The others were all 4-pointers. The Lions won. The Titans won, and so did the. Sponsors won't be happy if you still call them. I see notice here. They still call them the 6-gun grill. That's gone. It's the World Sports Betting Western Province. Nicely bowled. Point is, you can't keep batsmen in check. That's not going to help you here.
Yeah.
It's here you got to take wickets. It's now you got poof.
Yeah,
take 2 or 3.
If you got 4 in a ring, there's some runs off. But obviously, with Western Province thinking, obviously the win's important. We've got to get the win, but we can win it within 16 overs and that bonus point. We've got to start thinking about that too.
Well, Vincent, if they play normal cricket, even from here on in 6 runs and over, they'll easily win it within 16 overs.
They should.
If they don't, then, against opposition like this, one doesn't disregard any type of opposition, but let's be honest, the Tuskers are probably in the competition the weakest team.
Yeah, look, they've got to score 6 runs and over, and they win by a bonus point.
Yeah.
So they need 42 of 7 and a bit.
Yeah.
7.5 overs.
And the way they've been batting it, they should do it comfortably. Full delivery picked up, and that will go all the way. High and handsome.
What a great shot that was. Yeah, just angled into the legs. I keep saying this, but there is a short boundary on that side, although it's against a wind, but it's you can't bowl into the legs. And no protection for that.
Last adjustment to the field. Short cover. Deep mid on, deep mid off. And long on and long off. A short third man, short fine leg. Man deep in the boundary, more in a cow position. As well. That's for the wake across the line. That's him coming into play now. I know as in English you could get away calling that cow corner, you know, because you hit the ball there and it's got it. The best was Paul Adams in Afrikaans commentary. And Mike de Villiers, who is very prone in Afrikaans, and it's got to be spoken, the language got to be spoken properly. And Paul Adams had just started and he was on air with Mike de Villiers, and one of the batsmen hit the ball down to the cow corner position. And that's pulled through mid-wicket, it will be 4. Short enough, got the treatment it deserved. And he said in apt Afrikaans, and daar slaan hy die bal koeihoek toe. I tell you what, Mike de Villiers couldn't commentate for the next 20 minutes.
So what is it, Jeremy? What's it in Afrikaans?
He said a deep middebaan.
Oh, deep middebaan. Yeah. Okay, deep mid-wicket. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's the Afrikaans saying. I know in English it's just to illustrate, and he said koeihoek. This is cow.
I've heard the story. I've heard the story. But it is funny.
No, it was funny. Oh, he's lining up. He's just
lining it up. He's lining it up. He didn't play much for a cricketer, John Bird. Oh my word. Oh my word. What a shot. See, there's no turn. The spinners are getting no turn. The only thing you're depending on here is a little bit of inconsistent bounce, which has got wickets. We saw Tony De Zorsi get it high on the bat. So Kyle Reiner pulling a ball, keeping a little bit low. You know, that's the only. There's no turn. So when you flight the ball, it's going to get the treatment.
Well, we're halfway now. 10 overs, 94 on the board. Western Province should win this on a canter.
And then we got the big game.
Yes, that's I'm gonna feet up. What time is it? 6:30, is it?
Quarter to 6.
5:45. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because you know on social media the banter. So was United and Liverpool. The other day we got asked, we're the Manchester supporters because we played Manchester United last week. We're the Manchester supporters. Said to one guy, we don't say anything. We said nothing. A wise man once told me, say nothing when you win and say even less when you lose.
Yeah.
So we don't say anything. We just won the game 3-1, happy.
There we go. Took the 3 points.
A big look. I am surprised at how well Liverpool has done with the squad that they've got and the amount of injuries they've had.
Yeah.
You know, they've done exceptionally well, and you know he gets the best out of his players. There's no doubt about it. So it's going to be and it's been a good game because Liverpool play open game, and it's probably going to be 6-5 or something.
Yeah, the sad part of Klopp leaving. That's Well, I think he's been there quite a while at Liverpool as well. The interesting thing is he said he wanted a break, he wanted to rest, but I just wonder where is he going? There's no. I thought he was going to coach Germany, but that's out the window. He said no.
Look, I mean, you got to, Jeremy. These guys, the amount of pressure these guys go through.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they can't. You can't just take that. It's unrelenting. You know, the pressure on you all the time. Pep Guardiola. You know, they got to win. You know, there's that expectation to win all the time, and you can't. You know, so. You know, some stage you know before you burn out completely, you know that you let me have a break, and you might not have a break. You might be at home for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and something pops up, and there he goes, or he misses it, and he needs to get involved again. You know.
Good delivery, yeah. And I just want to say that you guys are almost like adrenaline junkies. So now you say you need a break, burnout and all that, so you get at home and you're bored that first week, second week you become much more bored, and then you say, no, I want to get back onto that coaching field.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to be retired, there you're off to Nigeria. I mean, it's just it's never going to leave you, Vinny. It's never going to.
You get home and well, I'm retired, and what happens now? And you find things to do and you start doing it. You know, it's been in your blood for all those years.
Well, that's true. Someone also said to me, what are you going to do if you reach retirement age? Will you? I said, I don't think you can get me away from cricket. It's been my life for the last 40 odd years, and what do you do without it? It's
yeah, you just grow old after that. Very old, very quickly.
Not that the South African cricket team doesn't make you old when you're in pinch, when you're sitting there in tense situations. Cut away nicely.
What a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Just the wrong length, wrong line. You're going to get that treatment. It's such a beautiful batting strip, this. The details are like this. You like this? DJ's pulling at some old school there.
Yeah, Spanish eyes.
Just as he's a youngster. I mean, it's quite interesting.
That's good. And now these youngsters, they listen to
because it's quality music.
To quality music. I just can't listen to their gedoefdoefery anymore. And it drives me absolutely insane. I can't understand the modern day music. Must admit, I'm trying hard, but I tell you what. I leave restaurants and places like this when I hear that music. I like soft, nice. See Peaches and Herbs coming to South Africa as well. Wow. June.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw them many years ago. They were old then.
Yeah. I don't think I want to go and see them because the last time I saw Percy Sledge, and I was very, very small, Vinny. That's edged. Outside edge, gone for 4. And the 100 up for Western Province. 50 up as well. Jonathan Bird, it's been a polished 50. And very, very well played. Morphle now, he's into the attack. Also left arm spin here. These Tuskers will have to really batting wise, bowling wise.
I think the game could be over in this over, Jeremy.
Yeah, and the other thing is also, I'm just looking forward in the competition for them. Oh, they have to really get reinforcements or strengthen this side. Are we going to see those long levers coming out now? He's been itching and burning.
He's itching. He's looking at that railway station.
Well, the 4:45 to Cape Town could be on its way then.
It's well bold. Yeah, look, it's going to be a tough campaign for Tuskers. Just not sure who's sitting out at the moment. I mean, I know Carl Nipper is a massive player for them. He had so much to their batting. Yeah, so it's going to be a tough campaign for them. They're also in trouble, isn't it, with relegation?
Yeah, that's what also could happen at the end of the season. Nicely played. Under 9 for 3. Will this be the last over?
Yeah, definitely. The Lions have won 9 wickets.
There we go. Into the railway stand. That's gone for maximum. The 50 partnership between these two, and it's taken 21 minutes and 32 balls.
So chip in the putt for John O'Birdie at that railway stand.
Yeah. One more run required for Western Province, and this will be an emphatic win. And that's it. All over at Newlands. Western Province comfortably cruising to victory. 116 for 3. Jonathan Bird with a well-played 61 not out. Well, it's been a very, very polished innings, and quite comfortably Western Province comprehensively beating the AET Tuskers by 7 wickets, and also they gained a bonus point, Vincent.
Yeah, it was a comfortable win. Damage done by the bowling. In that power play already, a lot of damage done. I mean, the partnership between Manikam and Kleto sort of gave it some sort of respectability, but yeah, all the damage was done before that. And yeah, look, it was always going to be a tough horse to limit this batting lineup. They're quite aggressive. That's the way they play, Western Province play, and yeah, easy victory. obviously some concerns for the Tuskers as they continue the rest of the tournament. You know, they have to step up. A couple of players are going to come back in the side. But yeah, it's going to be a tough campaign for them.
Yeah, it is indeed, and especially when you on the road, you've now played 2 games and you've lost both, and then you find out that wow, the going is tough, and we got to start winning. And the more you start losing, the more difficult it gets to win. So also next Wednesday will also be a treat here at Newlands when the World Sports Betting Western Province takes on the Northwest Dragons. So get yourselves there. It's a 6 o'clock start. There'll also be some good cricket, but as today, Western Province very, very comprehensive. What would stand out for you in today's game, Vincent? If you
Yeah, look, I mean, Tuskers, Tuskers want to toss him into bat and, try to get something. But I mean, his bowling attack of Western Province has been doing it for years now. Very, very good bowling attack. Gave them absolutely nothing. You know, as soon as it took any risk, they got wickets. And look at that power play killed them. I think it's got 20 odd in for 4. Power play killed them, and that basically won the game for Western Province. And yeah. You know, batting display, this is the way Western Province has been playing white ball cricket. They're quite aggressive up front, and they don't change the way they play unless conditions determine that. But today I thought it was a great batting tech, and impressive, very impressive. You know, they had to get over the line on Friday, which was good against the Dolphins, and now they've got two wins under the belt. So yeah, who they got Wednesday?
They got the Northwest Dragons, at Newlands.
It should be too strong for the Northwest Dragons as well. But, and then once the boys go off to IPL, we'll see how they're going to be. They don't get too affected. Western Province don't get too affected.
Yeah, not too much. I think it's only Nandre Berger. If you get is Buren Hendricks in the IPL?
No.
Not sure whether he's there, but they're not affected.
Wayne Purnell?
I'm not sure about Wayne Purnell as well. Yeah. But if it is, it won't make that much of a dent. There's also some good reserve youngsters at Western Province that could do the job. Well, that's the situation from Newlands. It's been interesting days cricket. Western Province convincingly toppling their opponents by 7 wickets. We hope you enjoyed the cricket. We certainly did. Until Wednesday, from Newlands, good night.